Sonia was a 24-year-old girl who was working in a company in the city. And after a long time, she was going to her home, and when she looked at her watch, it was already 10 o'clock. It was night time and the train stopped in front. Sonia picked up her luggage and boarded the train, and Neha also helped her in keeping her luggage in the train. "Okay, take care of yourself and call as soon as you reach home," Neha said while hugging Sonia. Sonia said, "Okay, you also go carefully." After this, Neha got down from the train and went away. Sonia took her luggage and went a little further. The train was almost empty. Seeing an empty place, Sonia stopped there, kept her luggage and sat towards the window. The weather was absolutely clear outside. After some time, the train started. Sonia took out her mobile and was about to put on headphones when suddenly she heard someone screaming. And out of fear, the phone fell from his hand. She turned angrily and was about to say something in anger. There was an innocent girl standing in front of her, and her grandmother also came behind her. She scolded the girl and sat near Sonia. "Sorry, daughter, my granddaughter is very mischievous." The lady said, "No problem, auntie." Saying this, Sonia picked up the phone and put the headphones back in her bag and sat facing the window. "Where are you going, daughter?" the lady asked. Sonia said, "I am going to my village to my parents and my younger brother." Elderly woman said, "Okay, but why so late in the night?" Sonia said, "What is that?" As soon as Sonia said this, loudly outside, there was a sound of lightning. Sonia said, "Amazing, the weather was clear just now. Where did this rain come from?" When Sonia looked outside the window, it started raining heavily outside. Elderly woman said, "By the way, where do you want to go?" Sonia said, "Don't ask, auntie. There is still a lot of journey left." Elderly woman said, "Okay." Similar conversations continued between Sonia and that old lady. And the train reached the next station. This was the last station before this. Sonia had to go by bus or taxi. When Sonia got down at the station and took out her phone to call home, her phone's battery was dead. Sonia said, "Oh, now this phone also had to go dead?" There was not much activity at the station since it was night. When Sonia looked at her watch, it was 12:30. She thought, "Let me spend the night here in a hotel, and tomorrow morning I will go to my village by bus or taxi." He looked around and saw the same woman who was sitting near him in the train. She went to that lady and said. Sonia said, "Auntie, are you a resident of here?" Elderly woman said, "Yes, daughter, my house is some distance away from here." Sonia said, "Auntie, is there any hotel here?" When that old lady heard the name of the hotel, she got scared at once. "Old lady, daughter, there is a hotel here, but you don't go there. No one goes to that hotel at night." Sonia said, "Auntie, how is there a hotel like this?" "Old woman doesn't even go, daughter. I don't know, especially whoever went there at night did not come back." Sonia started thinking what kind of childish things this lady is saying. "Elderly woman, daughter, you come with me to my house. No need to go to a hotel." Sonia said, "No thanks, auntie. I will stay in the hotel. Just tell me the address of that hotel. It's late at night, I am also tired and want to rest." Elderly woman told her the address of the hotel, but she was not happy with Sonia's decision. Sonia picked up her luggage and went to the address given by the lady. That hotel was some distance away from the station. When Sonia reached outside that hotel, she saw that there was no one there. There was complete silence there, but she saw that all the lights of the hotel were on. Sonia, amazing, there is no one here, as soon as she came inside the hotel. When Sonia entered the hotel, there was no one there. And he was feeling cold. It was still raining heavily outside. Sonia said, "Is this a very strange thing? The hotel is open. And no one here? How come?" Meanwhile, a voice came from behind Sonia. "How can I help you, madam?" When Sonia turned and looked back, a 40 to 45-year-old man wearing a black coat and pants was standing there. Sonia said, "That. I thought there was no one here." "No, madam, everyone is here," the man said. Sonia looked back and saw that there were indeed a lot of people present in that hotel. He wondered how this happened. There was no one here, then where did these people come from? She got a little nervous. The man again said, "What can I do to help you, madam?" Sonia said, "That. I wanted a room for tonight." "Okay, madam, you will get the room, you come with me," the man said. Sonia followed the man. While walking, Sonia noticed one thing, that she could only see her own shadow and not that of the man who was taking her with him. Then when Sonia looked around, she became more nervous because there was no shadow of any person present. Sonia could only see her own shadow. The man stopped in front of a room. "Here, madam, your room," the man said. When Sonia looked at that man, she was surprised. Here both of them were standing. There was a very big mirror on the wall just in front of them. And the surprising thing was that Sonia was able to see only herself in that mirror and not the man who was standing right in front of that mirror. Sonia said that, okay, she was a little nervous. Having said this, she closed the door of the room. She was very scared as to what was happening to her. She kept her things in the room, put her phone on charge and lay down on the bed and started thinking that maybe this was her hallucination, but she could not even deny what she saw. Thinking this, she fell into a deep sleep because she had been shocked. But after some time a gust of wind came and the clock kept on the table near her bed fell down. Sonia's eyes opened. But when he opened his eyes and saw what he saw, the ground slipped beneath his feet. He saw that there was only dust and spiders' webs all around his room. It seemed as if no one had cleaned that room for years. She was too scared. She ran outside from there, and there too the situation was the same as in her room. While running, she stopped at a place. There was a mirror in front of her. She saw that behind her was standing the same man who had shown her the room, but that man's face was half rotten, half was intact. Sonia looked back. There was no one there but that man in the mirror. "I was looking." She screamed loudly and ran away from there. There was a fog in the entire hotel. She ran downstairs crying and towards the reception. When she reached downstairs, she saw that the door of the hotel was closed and suddenly a few drops fell on her. When she saw, it was blood. She looked up. He saw a dead body hanging from the fan. It was the dead body of a girl. When Sonia screamed loudly, her eyes opened. Sonia woke up gasping and said, Oh God, what kind of dream was this? When Sonia woke up and looked around, her room was completely clean. When she looked at the clock, it was 4 o'clock. She went to the bathroom and washed her face. But when she looked at herself in the mirror, she actually had blood splattered on her shoulders like she had seen in her dream. Now she was completely sure. There was something strange here. There was someone who was making him feel like he belonged. Meanwhile, she heard someone crying in her room. She ran into the room and saw the man who had shown her the room. He was crying sitting on Sonia's bed. "Save us, daughter. She is not letting us go from here," the man said while crying. Sonia said, "Who is that?" "Man, who has imprisoned you here?" "Sonia, he has imprisoned me." I didn't understand anything. The man started laughing and said, "Yes, you are imprisoned here." Sonia said, "What nonsense, who is that? And who are you?" Man said, "That." When he said this, the girl closed the man's mouth from behind and looked at Sonia and screamed loudly. His voice was so loud that all the photos on the walls of the room started falling down. "Sonia, who are you? What do you want?" The witch shouted again and pointed towards the mirror in the room. When Sonia looked towards the mirror, she saw her own dead body hanging from the fan, but when she turned her face, there was no one there, and the photos that had fallen down were also stuck on the walls. She was very nervous. Sonia picked up her phone and tried to call her home while running away from the room, but her phone was not charged even though she had put it on charge. Sonia said, "Oh God, what should I do now?" She ran downstairs and saw that the door of the hotel was open. As soon as she started crossing the gate, suddenly some force pulled her backwards, but suddenly someone held her hand from outside. Sonia's whole body was in the air. On one side some invisible force was pulling her into the hotel, and on the other side someone was holding her hand. When Sonia saw, there was a 26-year-old young man outside who was holding Sonia's hand, and behind him was standing the same woman who had traveled in the train with Sonia. That lady placed the picture of God worn around her neck in front of the hotel door, and suddenly Sonia fell down. But then the wind took the shape of a huge demon's mouth and was about to move towards Sonia when the young man pulled her out. And that storm of wind ended by the time it reached the door, and the door closed with force. Sonia was completely scared and was shaking due to fear. Meanwhile, the lady came to him and said, "Daughter, are you okay?" Sonia trembling, "Yes, I am fine. Thanks." Elderly woman said, "No problem, daughter. There is nothing to be thankful for." Sonia said, How are you here?" Elderly woman said, "I and my son Rajesh have been waiting here for you since night." Sonia said, "Since night?" Elderly woman said, "Yes, daughter. I told you since last night not to stay here, but you didn't believe me. Now let's go home. Let's talk about the rest at home." Sonia said, "Thanks, auntie." Sonia also thanked Rajesh. Sonia, "Thank you very much to you too. If you had not been there today, then perhaps I don't know what would have happened to me." Rajesh said, "No problem, it's okay, let's go home now." Sonia said, "Okay." All three of them sat in the car and went home. Please like and subscribe for more terrifying tales.